Hello, and welcome to the third part of my series on how I grow my family farm in RimWorld. Today, I will show you how I expanded my base and built a new house in the cave, and you will also see some powerful raids that I was able to repel. It is worth remembering that my family consists of only 5 people. This is a father and a son who know how to hold weapons in their hands, and 3 women who will not be able to defend themselves without strong men. So this is the main difficulty of this survival. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I highly recommend you do so right now and then come back to watch this part. You're on Johny Plays channel and we're getting started. It is getting colder outside, and because of that I decided that it is worth sewing warm clothes for my colonists. It is worth noting that we have more than enough stock of fabric, and in general in this survival I plan to bet on selling different fabrics in order to earn as much money as possible, and thanks to this money, we can buy all the resources we need. By the way, I decided to sow the field with devil strand, which is used to create good armor. In fact, this is the best and most expensive fabric that exists. Suddenly we were attacked by 7 raiders, and I immediately ordered my defenders to go to the defensive lines, but my turrets managed 100% and the raiders started to run even before my colonists reached the kill box. And now I'm starting to dig a cave in order to slowly move to live in a safer place where it will be harder for the enemies to get to my colonists. In general, to begin with, I plan to make a kill box where the enemy will be met by my fighters and turrets. And after the kill box, it is worth building spacious and beautiful rooms for each of my colonists. Well, and only later to complete the warehouse, refrigerator, workshops, and so on. I think that this construction will drag on for the entire series. Traders came to my map, but unfortunately they didn't have anything interesting for me, but a different situation happened. The alpacas went crazy and started attacking all the people they saw, and it was my guests who became their victims. But as I expected, the battle was short-lived and not at all in favor of the alpacas, and in the end my guests were able to defeat the crazy animals with their combined efforts. At the same time, a dry thunderstorm began and lightning began to set fire to everything around. To be honest, I was in no hurry to put out the fire simply because there was so much of it that it made no sense at all. I decided to just wait for the rain to put out all the fire. Little by little, we continue to dig the kill box in our cave, and in general we do not have any difficulties with this. And we were also offered to keep 3 horses for 21 days, and in exchange for this we will receive a good combat helmet, which we will of course need for the defense of our farm. I started marking the rooms in our cave, and I think that clearing the territory will take quite a long time, so I decided that for further digging I have to use all my colonists and not just men. I also realized that our kill box is not wide enough and it needs to be expanded a little so that more defense mechanisms can be installed in the future. Our cotton crops were infected with some disease, and because of this it was necessary to destroy all the diseased bushes as soon as possible before they spread the disease to other crops. And in the meantime, the construction of our new house was in full swing. We even started digging rooms for our colonists. I have even already marked the territory for our warehouse with resources, and in general I think that building such an underground base is a really good idea. It remains only to understand how to properly use the house in which we live at the moment when we move out of it. Our construction continued little by little, and at this time unusual rats appeared on our map, namely those that are adapted to the waste-contaminated atmosphere. In general, they do not pose any threat to us, because only a few rats entered our kill box, and then a few more rats entered little by little, one at a time. All the other individuals walked from side to side in the circle of our upper wall and did not even think of somehow attacking our territories. I was tasked with protecting a fallen Imperial shuttle in exchange for 2 advanced components. And once again, I did not understand why I was asked for help at all. Our guests were dressed in the most advanced armor and were armed with such powerful weapons that one such set of armor and weapons would probably cost as little as half or even my entire base. When the raiders went on the attack, I was generally surprised how they came up with such a stupid idea, and in fact the Imperials fully justified all my expectations. By the way, my colonists did not stand aside in this defense and even shot several raiders. The father of the family was able to finish off the retreating raider with an accurate shot, which was almost within the maximum range of the shot of father's rifle. The mission was successfully completed, and I received my 2 components and the remains of the destroyed Imperial shuttle. Then a very unpleasant event happened. The enemy faction has placed a psychic suppressor not far from my settlement. I was forced to equip a combat group that could knock the enemy out of that area and destroy the device. The only thing that gave me hope was that this device was guarded by only 2 raiders and a turret. Because of this, I was able to send only my 2 fighters and plus my eldest daughter. Because for some reason the father and son could not carry all the things they needed to move around the global map. When we reached the enemy settlement, we immediately destroyed one of the raiders, after which the second simply ran away. We didn't even touch the turret because it was behind the building and didn't see us. We quickly destroyed the walls in the building and shot the psychic suppressor from a distance, after which the task was completed and we could return home. When my colonists came back, they were just in the worst possible mood due to lack of sleep and malnutrition, and I decided to give them some time to rest. At that very moment, I made one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life. I agreed to give temporary shelter to 2 colonists, father and son. In general, I thought that we would need their help because we are building our base in a cave, but in the end, everything happened so that these 2 individuals managed to spoil everyone's mood so much that my colonists began to fall into various bad mental states almost at the same time. Someone overate and someone insulted everyone they saw. The main reason for this was that the older guest had such a character trait as envy, and it was this that did not give him peace, and because of this, his terrible mood and temper ruined the lives of everyone around him. Little by little, we dug one room after another and even managed to conduct electricity into our cave, which made it possible to install lamps for lighting the rooms. In general, all the colonists and even children participated in the construction process. I do not think that this is bad, because it is really useful for children to do such work in order to pump up their skills for further adult life. We have started laying the floors in some rooms, and I have plans to furnish all these rooms very soon and move my colonists to live in the cave. We were attacked by a raid of 9 people, and all of them were armed with toxic grenades. I tried to bring my fighters to the firing lines as quickly as possible. After that, father and son together with the turrets accepted the battle. The main problem was that many raiders were wearing bulletproof vests, and this made it really difficult to destroy them. But when 6 raiders were already lying on the ground, those who remained on their feet ran away as fast as possible. My son started eating everything he saw because of a bad mood, and I didn't even know what to do with it. But as I said before, the whole problem was with our guests who undermined the morale of our colony. But fortunately, the son came to his senses just at the moment when we were attacked by 9 really dangerously armed raiders. The raiders attacked immediately, which did not give us the opportunity to prepare for battle. The main problem was that my turrets were completely empty of ammunition, and it was necessary to reload them as quickly as possible. In general, I managed to reload the turrets and they immediately opened fire on the enemy, but one of them came too close and my father entered into a very close combat with him. Fortunately, the armor protected the father from all the attacks of the raider and the enemy was knocked to the ground. At the same moment, my son and the turrets destroyed enough raiders, and those who remained alive simply ran away. By the way, my colonists are already actively digging a warehouse where we will store our resources. I think that very soon my family will be able to move to a new protected home. And I also completed the task of taking care of the horses, and after loading them all onto the shuttle, I still received the helmet that was promised to me in exchange for this task. I can say that I am really satisfied and believe that this helmet will save the lives of my colonists more than once. As for the mood in the colony, I can only say that everyone is very angry and disappointed. The younger daughter, in a fit of anger, said so many bad words to her father that now the father doesn't even know how to communicate with her in the future. I really hope that things will get better with time and they will be on good terms again. And I almost forgot, our youngest guest also began to have a fit of anger and wanted to continue to spoil the mood of my colonists. But I ordered my son to put the little bastard in his place and beat him so hard that he would remember our kindness for the rest of his life. In the end, my son overdid it a bit and broke his right middle toe, but I still hope that he will remember this lesson forever. A little later, our guests did leave our colony and even thanked for the warm welcome, and at the same time my colonists finished laying the stone tiles and putting the shells in the warehouse. And therefore we can say that until the finale, all that remained was to arrange the rooms where the members of my family. And we were attacked again by raiders. This time they were not armed with flamethrowers and were not covered in armor. Because of this we managed very easily. And finally, I decorate bedrooms for children and parents. In general, everything looks exactly as I imagined it. Large, spacious rooms where everyone can spend time as they want and will not wake up in the middle of the night due to noise. And also a large warehouse, which in any case can be expanded almost to infinity. That's how I want to end this video. Please like, comment on this video, and subscribe to my channel and watch other videos on my channel. Johny was with you. Goodbye.